What's up YouTube? Chris at Webinar Grow here. Today we're going to break down a successful webinar from Lemlist and show you the funnel, the copy, and conversion tactics they use to get over 6,000 views and have a huge launch with their new product. Check it out. And before we get started, if you don't mind smashing that like and subscribe button below, really appreciate it. Helps grow this small channel. And let's get into it. So if you're not familiar with Lemlist, it's one of the most popular and fastest growing cold email platforms out there. They've really been crushing it over the past few years. I think they just got offered an 8-figure sale price and they said no because they want to continue growing it. Guillaume over there is doing a great job and really crushing it with his content marketing, particularly webinars. So I want to break this down and show you exactly what they did here. So this is the event, Our LinkedIn Secrets to Over 3 Million Monthly Views. Now already, I love this title. It's a very specific, powerful title, has a clear benefit. Compare this to some of the boring webinar titles you might see out there like LinkedIn Secrets or LinkedIn Content, like who cares? 3 million monthly views is a very specific goal and you go, wow, I want to learn how to do that, right? And it even says live events. We know, hey, this is live, I don't want to miss it. So a couple things here too. Number one is they are in the perfect medium for this. I actually saw this on LinkedIn. They also had this on their website as a sticky bar. But if you're doing an event about LinkedIn secrets, have the event on LinkedIn, right? It sounds like a no-brainer, but you'd be surprised how many people miss that crucial step. This is the perfect place to market this event right away. Title, picture looks good, shows the date. And then you can see they got 1,700 attendees just from here. And I want to point something out. Notice where it says join here. So at the time before the event, it actually would go to a landing page on a new platform called Luma, which is a really cool platform. Luma has basically free landing pages for events like webinars. You integrate this with your Zoom and you basically have a free funnel to do your webinar. And it's a really cool platform. And so you can see here with the Luma landing page, it looks really nice, right? It's a lot nicer than some of the native landing pages you might see, particularly in Zoom. So you see it's got a really nice header here, matches their colors, their branding. You can invite others very easily. You can add it to your Instagram story, which is a pretty cool promotion tool. And then you also have your calendar buttons here. So this is a nice integrated, clean page. Doing this with other platforms, you might have to link together a couple different platforms here. So this is really nice. And let's go into the copy. 3 million monthly views. That's our average LinkedIn reach at Lemlist. Over the past 3.5 years, 15 people published weekly content that helped us bring a strong brand worldwide and add $1 million to our ARR, our annual recurring revenue. Wow. Already, right? In that first sentence, I'm already intrigued here. We publish and analyze thousands of posts to develop a secret framework to build a strong brand, benefit number one, and generate sales, benefit number two, on LinkedIn. After testing tons of things, I even got banned from LinkedIn because of pushing LinkedIn limits to the extreme. Now, why would you put a line like that in? Well, it's really for credibility, right? Because a lot of people, if you're doing a lot of stuff on LinkedIn, you're doing automation and different tactics, some of the stuff's black hat and you can see people get banned using LinkedIn automation tools and some of the things that are out there. So he's really telling you, look, I've been active in doing this. I'm not just curating a bunch of content out there. These are things that I've personally done. That's why on March 2021, I had to start from zero. Why is that important? Because that's where you are starting, right? That's where you're starting right now is from zero. So look, he's telling you a few months ago, he's where you are right now and had these incredible results. Last 6 months, I built a community of 18,000 people, reached an average of 1 million views a month, networked with 960 people, and generated over $500,000 in sales. We applied the same strategy for every person at Lemlist, reaching millions of views and generating tens of thousands of dollars every month. Now, why would you put this line in here? Well, this is really expanding beyond his personal brand. At this point, Guillaume's pretty well known, so someone might be thinking, well, okay, you did a ton of content already, you've got a big brand, I'm sure this will work for you, will this work for me? But when he says for every person at Lemlist, well, look, not every employee at Lemlist is well known, right? So again, implying that you can do this. It's really the big key of any B2B webinar is, here's how to achieve this goal in your business. I'm just like you, here's how you can do it. And again, and funny enough, that's the line he has right here. Now I want you to have the same results for your own business and even more by using LinkedIn. During this exclusive webinar, so I love the word exclusive for webinars, right? It's like, hey, you got to sign up, but you know, it makes it sound nice. I'll share a step-by-step guide, right? Again, I'm gonna show you how to do this cool thing step by step on what worked for us on LinkedIn over the past 3.5 years and the secret strategy that allowed us to reach millions of views. Now, I love this secret strategy, right? Because it's very intriguing, it's provocative. You're like, wait, what's the secret strategy, right? We always want the secret sauce. And then he breaks down some more details. And this is what we cover in our consulting as well, is like when you're giving these mini wins to your overall value proposition, giving a tease of what it is without spelling it out. So in this case, the best post frameworks to generate tens of thousands of dollars, our secret strategy on LinkedIn to boost sales, and what LinkedIn hacks helped us reach millions of views. Now notice, he's giving you detail, but really hasn't told you anything yet, right? Because it's like he's telling you, these are the frameworks, this is the strategy, and then gives you some scarcity. Keep in mind that seats are limited, so register ASAP to reserve your place. See you at the event, G. This is a great landing page. Now, some people might say, hey, this is pretty long for a landing page, but what I like about it is it's conversational. He's not overloading you with lots of unnecessary detail. He's telling you a story. And I think in that context, it's great. Because if you notice, this page is like, there's not really much going on beyond the header, right? You have a really nice header, but then it's just all text. So it's like you're either gonna read it or you're not. So for the skimmers, they've got this Our LinkedIn Secrets title, which is great. Boom, I'm gonna sign up. Or if you're the type of person that wants to read through the whole thing, you've gotten a lot of clear benefits and reasons for you to show up. I mean, that's the big thing for a live webinar in particular is you have to give people a strong reason to show up versus just register and go, I don't know, maybe I'll go. So really cool landing page and good emails here too. So you see a lot of good reminder emails here. So if I go in, you see events starting in 4 days, in a day, in an hour, in 13 minutes, and gives you the link right here. Now, here's another cool thing. As opposed to using it on a webinar platform that someone might do, he's actually streaming this on YouTube. So when you go to YouTube, you actually see all of the chat and everything here. And you can, as of today, which is September 20th, has 6,000 views. That's a lot of views for a webinar, right? Particularly if you're probably not spending any money on traffic. So a really interesting way of going about this, because he's already gotten your email address from the landing page, or if you've been on his list before. So now he's just sending you to a streaming site that's as easy as possible to access. And I really like this because sometimes we, as marketers, we can get caught up in controlling everything. Every bit of content is super gated. Here, there's no friction, right? You want to invite your friend here, you want to share this, boom, boom, boom. There's a YouTube link, go for it. And the same thing, even with the LinkedIn event, when you go there, the YouTube link is here as well, right? So puts all these different channels aimed at this YouTube stream. Now let's check out the event itself. Obviously it's an hour and a half. We're not going to go through the entire webinar, but already right away we can see this is cool. He's got the countdown going and then we dive right in. So we see him on Restream. This is a platform you would use for streaming, obviously to YouTube.
All right. Okay, so type in the chat. Sorry for the sound issue.
So a couple sound issues, that's natural, that happens. Not the end of the world. I've been on plenty of webinars that have had sound issues. It's just something that happens when you're going live, but it's probably something you'd want to test if you're doing these frequently, just to make sure your setup's here. Looks like he's using a streaming camera, probably like a Sony A-series camera that has the streaming capability, or maybe a Blackmagic, I'm not sure. But so sometimes there can be some lag there, particularly for YouTube. So already you can see here with the opening, type in the chat, 1 if you're a business owner, 2 if you're a salesperson, 3 if you work in marketing, right? So we see, hey, who are you? You're getting some engagement right away. You're seeing other people comment. Now you get some more intelligence on your audience.
Please, whether or not this LinkedIn webinar is for you.
So now he's asking the question, is this LinkedIn webinar for you, right? Now he's gonna qualify the audience. Do you wanna book more meetings and generate sales? Do you wanna be like me and do all these cool things, right? So you're asking this question, and I love doing this early on in a webinar, is giving you a reason to be there. And now he's selling you on LinkedIn. So with this benefits of using LinkedIn, it's the best place to build trusting relationships with your dream client. He's telling you why this is important. So again, even if you think your audience is already dialed in to, oh, they know it's important, give them a quick summary of why, right? Decision makers are on LinkedIn. And then, so you see a couple technical glitches here where he's going in and out of the Google Slides.
Don't worry, we're all straight for that. So really LinkedIn, it's awesome. You've seen it on the site.
So sound has some issues here. So there's some technical things I'd probably want to work out for another one, but again, it happens. And as long as they're there, they're very forgiving in general. So don't sweat that too much. Don't let technology be the reason you don't do a webinar. So now he's giving you the why you should trust me, right? A little bit about me. I love doing this early in the webinar as well. In this case, look, he's got a lot of credibility, bootstrapped to $8 million in annual revenue, 85 countries, 10,000 clients, Lemlist family. He's got a huge, I think it's a Facebook group. So a lot of really great bona fides to talk about here. Then talking about the power. Now notice 13 minutes in, he hasn't really given you clear strategies yet, right? He's still giving you the background of like, look, what happens with this content? What are the benefits, right? Because before you do a training, you want to tell them why this is important and the clear results they can expect here. So in this case, he shows an article here where he gets 177,000 views, right? It's a ton of views for a LinkedIn post.
Okay, views on my post. How? Because of producing so much great content over the years.
And then he talks about how he got banned. So then this is a really good moment as well, right? This is kind of what we would follow the 3-act story framework, right? Like the hero's journey. This is where the hero is having some problems. Say, look, I was doing well, I got banned, I had to start back from zero, relearn everything. And so in this case, he talks about banned. He did a movement to get his profile back, a hashtag, and then hundreds of people shared this post.
Even though tons of people shared this, I couldn't get my profile back.
Couldn't get it back.
Back in February this year, I had to start all over again.
Right, so he's again telling you, starting over from scratch. And then goes into the how. So he's going to talk about the agenda today. So he actually has 5 points for the agenda. Starting on LinkedIn, defining your audience, developing a top relevant network, building relationships on LinkedIn, and then the secret post frameworks. I don't love this many agenda topics. I would probably keep it to 3 and then put some of this content under each of these. So like 2 and 3, I might put as the one category, or even 2, 3, and 4 with the audience and network and relationships. These are all kind of the same thing. So I might say like the secret to building strong relationships with your audience, for example, right? But whatever, it's still, it's fine.
Secret to developing a top relevant network.
And then he goes through here. And so now by 16 minutes in, he's getting into the training itself. So you see the reasons for using LinkedIn, having a goal about who you want to connect to. This is all solid content. And these are kind of best practices that are before you're getting to the really meaty, unusual stuff. These are sort of high level best practices you're starting with, right? So I like this here, connecting with founders, boosting brand awareness, because if you're on LinkedIn doing that, that's what you want to do. And now he starts going into the pitfalls, right? So he's telling you, hey, this is why we do this. These are the pitfalls. Most people fail to achieve an ROI because they create a passive network. They share irrelevant content. So now he's starting to narrow in on what you need to do.
Almost the same amount of views by creating valuable content with lead magnets and essentially getting a lot of engagement, a lot of emails, and a lot of potential customers that you can afterwards target.
So I love this. Creating a lead magnet, right? So instead of doing willy-nilly posts, he's going to treat this the same way you would treat a lead magnet in a funnel and using LinkedIn as the top of that funnel. Relevant, valuable content. Okay, it sounds great. Defining your audience. Now he's using your existing clients to find new ones, right? So we talk about this in our consulting as well, going into an ideal customer profile and really being able to map out as detailed as possible who that ideal customer is, and then finding people just like that. So this is great. I love this. Using your existing clients to find new ones. It's a really great angle for doing that. Doing the research on the audience. And this is a really clever hack here about finding people that are interested in it. So when you go and someone likes your content, I'm guessing that Guillaume's going to reach out to them and connect with them, probably as an automation through Zapier or something else set up to do that.
First water, sorry. Essentially, you just go on Sales Navigator, type the name of the person who kind of liked your content and engage with it. And then you have the 3 dots on the side. You just have to click on View Similar.
Right? Pretty cool hack. That's really good information. So he's going into a lot of really interesting ways of finding content. So notice we haven't really gone into posts or frameworks or anything yet. He's giving you the background about finding content. And this is actionable content that you need to know, but he's still teasing you with the secret frameworks for later. And now he's giving you some more angles of things to do, leaving thoughtful comments, optimizing your profile, event with the target audience. So like the great way to connect with people, right? So even people did this on his post where they go to his event and they were commenting and doing things here. So you see like this lady, Loredana, actually followed this advice and was engaging with people on that event. So really interesting ways of going about this process. He's not just telling you, hey, write this. He's giving you things that he's done, starting conversations, sparking interest. So now he's got a ton of actionable information here. So now we see we're about 42 minutes into the training, and then we're getting a lot of actionable information here. He's telling you about how to share the events and do this and that. And now we're going to transition to the offer. And in this case, the offer starts telling you again, he's going to recap how all this stuff worked with these posts. He's launching in a LinkedIn Masterclass. Now, this is a really cool angle for a SaaS company. I think it's one of those things that is not done enough because it's A, extremely profitable, and B, really helps your audience succeed, right? Because look, if you're crushing it on LinkedIn, you're probably going to use Lemlist as cold email follow-up as part of that process. I think Lemlist even has an omni-channel approach with LinkedIn and email now. So it's a great way to maximize profit for your SaaS and get people really doing well in evangelizing your product. So he's launching the LinkedIn Masterclass. He's giving you a recap of everything that's important here. This is textbook webinar offers, tells you what you're gonna get, 17 videos, templates, resources, and then this is a fun one. Can I share the offer with you now? Now, I don't love this for like true B2B enterprise style. I don't love that for that. But I think for this audience, this type of offer tease is fun because people that are looking to crush it on LinkedIn could just be an individual, like a solopreneur or maybe starting their own business. So it's a bit more aspirational than say if you're doing a webinar for, I don't know, a Fortune 500 company, right? If you're selling to some VP of marketing, I wouldn't do this particular thing, but I think for this audience, it works well. And he's asking them to say yes in the chat if they're able to hear it. People are saying yes, yes, yes. And then breaks it down. Okay, $500, $497, pretty reasonable for that kind of training. And now he starts to overcome objections, right? Hey, no more struggle, no more wasting time. So once you give an offer, you're also going to paint this bright new future for your audience. And there's some testimonials here.
I think it's an understatement to say that they definitely walked the talk.
Social proof, very powerful, right? It's always a huge thing to have in webinars. And I like how he spliced this in. It's a fun thing you can do, especially with pretty much any of the webinar platforms out there. You can do a hybrid style where you splice in a video. In this case, he's doing it on YouTube. And this is a fun way of getting the offer as well. He has a QR code. So if you got your phone, you can take a picture of it or just scan it right there. Put the link in the chat. Again, I would prefer to have something that's a bit more trackable. Like Demio's got a really nice CTA button where you can see who clicked on an offer and do some automations based on that. But this isn't bad, particularly with the size of the audience here. And it looks like the rest of this is going to be Q&A and more information here. So, and he does a really cool thing here with scarcity. You see on the slide, the price increases every day. That's a really interesting scarcity tool. Because there's a clear penalty for not acting now. So if you wait till tomorrow, now it's $100 more, and he actually goes through and tells you how much it's gonna be each day, and then he would send emails out with that information. So really fun way to get people in and have them trigger that FOMO, that fear of missing out. So this is a really cool webinar. I really like this a lot. Great views, great results. And I love this as a positioning tool for Lemlist because now they've built, look, if they've got 6,000 people viewed and 1,700 just on LinkedIn, that's a huge audience that you can market to in the future. So even if they don't buy this product, you've built that inbound list. And honestly, that's the most important thing with doing regular webinars is to build your marketing list. That's what's going to drive sales for months and years to come. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you'd like to see more webinar content, feel free to put some suggestions or questions down below. I'd love to hear from you and talk to you soon.